Thursday, February 5th, 1976, and now Lowell Thomas.
Stay tuned as CBS covers the world at 7 o'clock.
From Washington, from Guatemala, and from San Francisco comes today's news. Good evening, everybody. This is Lowell Thomas. Secretary of State Kissinger on Capitol Hill was telling a Senate panel what he's been telling the rest of the country, that the present relationship between President and Congress has reached a point where the ability of the U.S. to conduct a coherent foreign policy is being eroded. Especially true, he continued, in the intelligence field. He said, one has only to look at the recent leakage, indeed official publication of highly classified material, as well as unsubstantiated charges and personal attacks against the executives. Just look at this and see the harm we are doing to ourselves. Meanwhile, Dr. Kissinger himself was coming under sharp criticism on the Senate floor, Majority Leader Mike Mansfield saying it was Congress alone that prevented the administration from carrying out a tragic war in Angola, adding, if any administration expects Congress to lie down and play dead, it has another think coming. And now this message. The Guatemala earthquake toll continues to mount. Officials now place the known dead at between 2,500 and 3,000 and still rising. Many today were buried in mass graves. Workers then turning attention to those for whom there is still hope. Capitol Hill, a Senate bill to block Supersonic Concorde jet flights to the U.S. was rejected today in committee by a single vote. Britain and France are saying they'll begin their twice the speed of sound flights across the Atlantic to us in June. Today at the White House, President Ford signed into law the new $6.4 billion railroad aid bill. It clears the way for the largest industrial reorganization program in our nation's history. In the House, a vote to extend federal controls over 70% of the U.S. natural gas production to free smaller producers from federal regulations. In Boston, Morris Udall was charging that Democrat Wallace and Republican Ronald Reagan are the twin horsemen of the radical right, an insidious threat to the republic. Said he, they're well-financed, well-organized, well-publicized, clever, and dangerous. Independent Eugene McCarthy chooses as his running mate another Ford from Michigan, too. Sportsman Bill Ford, owner of the Detroit Lions. William Clay Ford, younger brother of Henry Ford II. Says Senator McCarthy, he's a relative newcomer to politics, but if you look at the record of the vice presidents of the last 12 years, he looks good. Watergate Judge John Sirica, victim of a heart attack today in Washington, reported in critical condition. In California Catholic churches, praying has been going on for rain to put an end to the worst drought in 20 years, and the prayers have been answered. Rain and snow today falling over most of the state. Up to half an inch of rain in Southern California, snow up to 2 feet in the high Sierra, 6 inches even in the Bay Area where snow is rarely seen, and where motorists are warned to stay off those steeper streets. A few have even put on skis and went zinging down Taylor and Powell, another street so well known to autolists. Lombard Street, why, that would be ideal for a slalom course. And now this message. Minnesota legislators are asking if alcohol like cigarettes should have a warning label. This is the result of a bill calling for a warning on all beer and whiskey saying, caution, excessive consumption of alcohol dangerous to your health. The bill's backers say it's to warn young people not to get bombed. The bill's opponents insist it won't help a bit, that they'll still get stoned. And now for CBS News, this is Lowell Thomas saying, so long until tomorrow.
WCBS News Time, 7:06. Good evening. I'm Harvey Halpin, and Gordon Barnes is telling us that...